Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I actually just got back from getting my haircut, so I've currently got the post-haircut bob going on because every time you get your haircut shorter than shoulder length, they're like, you know what you need? A bob. So that's what I've got going on right now. It's way too neat and circular. Anyway, recently a video that was requested of me to make was one about white knights, which is basically men who come to the rescue for women. They speak on behalf of women, mainly to get women to be interested in them, to get a clap, a pat on the back, and wow, I am in love with you, let's ride off into the sunset together kind of thing, right? Men who pretend that they're feminists, men who pretend that they care about women in order to get things from women. And there is a subreddit for this, which is r/white knighting, and I thought that I would look through that and go over some posts with you. Now, a thing about this subreddit that I found really interesting is that some of the posts in there are very valid and very much deserve to be in there. They're like, oh my god, what? No. Red flag, screaming red flag. But then there are some posts in there that you can tell, men have entered this chat, or there are pick-me girls in there kind of thing, of people posting genuine men who are actually, feminists, and they're actually making good points and saying stuff, and they're like, ugh, oh my god, apparently, men suck. And I'm like, they're making a valid point, but, So it's a bit of a mix. But before we get into that, I would like to say a massive thank you to today's patron of the day, Mildred. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining and for all of your support. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if anyone else would like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. It starts at as little as £1 a month and I appreciate it greatly. So thank you. Yeah, okay. So let's get into the white knighting. A good example of white knighting that is the most oh my god, I see right through you red flag, are posts like this. To the woman I helped escape a potential SA Friday night in Southie, I hope you are okay. I have no idea if you're on Reddit, but around midnight Friday on West Broadway, you were being harassed by a middle-aged man who kept cutting you off while you yelled for him to leave you alone. When I crossed the street and asked if you were okay, he told me to F off and said you were his girlfriend, but it was clear he was lying. I asked you and you repeated to me, screaming, that you just wanted him to leave you alone. I was the guy who restrained and wrestled him and told you to run. He followed me for 5 blocks trying to fight me after that. So I know you got away, but I hope you got home safely and are okay and recovering. You don't get a medal. You don't get a medal for doing that. Thank you for doing that. A lot of men wouldn't do that. A lot of people just let women struggle, unfortunately. So it's cool of you to do that. Searching for a thank you or gratitude or something from her, or just even searching for validation and approval from other people is just really takes away from the good deed. It's kind of you did it to gain something. You didn't do it because you thought it was the right thing to do. You did it because you want her to be like, oh my god, thank you, I love you, thank you, how can I repay you? And from other people to be like, wow, you're such a good person. It's to give yourself an ego boost and to make yourself feel good. Doing the good deed should be enough. She doesn't actually owe you anything. Thank you for doing that. But she doesn't owe you anything. No one else owes you anything. I am sure it was scary. It sounds like a scary situation. And I'm sorry that it happened, but that's it, really. I hope that, he was able to face some sort of consequence for his actions in that situation. But that's really it. You don't really deserve anything more than that. You don't get a medal. You don't get a round of applause. You were just a decent person, really. So thank you. But you don't need to boast about it. Here is a clip of wife beats husband immediately after he gets home. And someone said, I think it should be legal for wives to beat their husbands for any reason. I just think that I know that it's a joke, but I just don't think abuse is very funny, And women abusing their husbands is so often overlooked and neglected. A lot of men don't come forwards and talk about it because they kind of told that men are stronger than women, so if they hit you, you're weak, and you deserve it, it's okay, it's normal. It's not normal. It's not normal to be abused by your wife. It's not normal to abuse your husband. Like, it does work that way around sometimes, you know? Like, it's more likely for men to be abusers, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen when women are abusers. And it doesn't mean that men suffer less than women when they are abused. Men just talk about it less for reasons such as this. You are like mocking a victim here. I don't know the situation, but there is like no situation that warrants just like beating up your husband. Firstly, I don't think this should be posted on like a Crazy Clips Twitter account. I think that's really fucked up. We shouldn't be posting videos of people's abuse for like viral tweets. I don't know the context. You know, there's very few reasons that like qualify for that. The only one that would is like self-defense, you know? But then narrowing that down to just like, I think women should be able to hit men whenever they want. No, they shouldn't. No, absolutely not. You aren't like helping anyone by saying this. You aren't gaining my respect or approval. You aren't gaining respect and approval from any women other than abusers. I mean, you shouldn't be aiming to gain validation and approval from abusers. We should be, you know, helping people not be abusers and helping people not be abused. This is a comment on an article about Margot Robbie's nude scene in Wolf on Wall Street. And they said, I turned it off when I saw this scene. I cannot stand the sexual objectification of women. It broke me. I cried. Even this article has triggered me, as have the toxic misogynistic comments. If any women out there like the kind of thing I'm saying, please DM me. I look forward to protecting you. Bro? Oh my God. I've never seen just a blatant straight up, like just saying buzzwords, like triggered and misogynistic, you know, like they're buzzwords in the sense that like, I don't think this person actually cares. They just know that women react well to that because that's like, you know, and then being like, if you agree with me and you also don't like misogyny, DM me and I'll protect you. Protect me from what? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? This is such a big screaming red flag. This is the type of person who you like, you know, get into a relationship with them and then they just fucking like isolate you because they're so insecure and they neglect you and they abuse you. They're the worst type of people to be in relationships with. I feel like they're some of the top abusers of people like this. They're very, very clearly setting a trap for vulnerable women. And it's so gross. Like, I don't think you know what that means. I don't think that's true at all. You absolutely did not. Don't fucking lie. This is just not even a little bit true. And I don't think you give a single fuck. I just don't think you care. Maybe you should try actually caring about issues and actually caring about women instead of pretending to in order to get women's approval and attention. Maybe if you actually did care about them and showed that in very real ways and not superficial ways, women would pay more attention to you and would actually want to be around you more. These are like, no, I think the best way to describe these white knighters is that these are the like nice guys before you piss them off. They're the nice guys before you piss them off. So they're like, you know, I'll respect you. I'm a nice guy. And then you say one thing they don't like and then they like rip into you and call you a slut. Like that's the type of person this is. These are just nice guys before they get set off. That's what a white knight is. Misogyny check. Let your phone finish the sentence. Women are, this person replied, women are the most important people in the world and they are the most powerful people in the whole world and they are not just the most powerful and powerful people in the entire world and they are all the best people in the universe. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, bro, actually. I don't think that this is what came up. I just don't. And if it was, you like deliberately like chose, you know, you chose ones or you typed in like a letter to prompt it because I just don't believe you. And if this is true, how often are you saying this? Where are you saying it to in order for this to come up? My like auto fill thing is like half the time just like says random shit that I've never typed before because I don't know why. I feel like it doesn't predict me very well at all. What does mine say? Women are not allowed in this house because of their age or because they have no children. That's so funny. I can't believe that's what came up. That's horrible. Oh my God. My phone is misogynistic. Good Lord. Why did it do that? I don't know. But I believe this even less now. So easily staged. And like, who is this for? Who are you trying to impress here? Everyone's just laughing at you. No one's gonna be like, wow, oh my God, you really care about women. Your phone auto predicted that. Like, no one's doing that. You just look like a liar because you are. Like, I'm just gonna laugh at you. I am a 30-year-old man and cannot, for my life, find a woman younger than 24 sexually attractive. The concept of jailbait is lost on me. Like, how do men find girls that young attractive? I've had a number of situations where I'll see a younger woman, sometimes a girl, and I'll think, oh, that girl is cute. But I think in the same way I think a doll is cute, or the way I'd see a video game character is cute. It's not a sexual thing. There's no sex there. It's like a sense of endearment. I look at a physically appealing young woman and girls and I find them endearing and charming, but I'm just not interested in any kind of intimate interaction there. I don't even understand how anyone, particularly at my age, would look at someone that young and think it was an appealing idea. For someone who doesn't think that younger women are attractive, you sure are obsessed with talking about it and telling us about it. There's a whole bunch of things wrong with this. Firstly, you're dehumanizing girls and young women, being like, I see them as dolls or as video game characters. Like, that's a weird thing to say. In general, don't dehumanize people. You can think that a person is pretty or cute or beautiful without there being any attraction or like sexual intent there, right? Like, there are some very pretty like young women, you know, like mothers will say to their like young daughters being like, oh my gosh, you look so beautiful, you're so pretty. And that's totally fine. You can acknowledge that people are pretty when they are children. You can acknowledge that younger people are beautiful because they are and they can be. And that does not have to be attached to anything other than that, right? Like, that's an innocent thing to say. I would never think that you're saying that with sexual intention, and the fact that you think people are is very concerning. And then on that, I don't know, there's something weird about thinking that like young girls are like endearing and charming. That's super odd. This kind of sounds like you're trying to convince yourself you're not attracted to people under 24. You're trying to get the approval of people who are closer to your age, or even approval of younger people, because now they're going to trust you and think that you aren't sexually interested in them, right? For what? For what? You just sound creepy. I'm kind of creeped out by you. Today, while at the gas station, I overheard a lady in her late 20s telling 2 other men to leave her alone. So I decided to walk over to them and I asked her, how was the meeting today, darling? And she looked at me and said, it was good. I'll tell you more about it when we get home in a few. I replied with, wonderful, I'll pick up your favorite for dinner. The 2 guys left in a hurry and she told me, you have no idea how much that meant to me. Thank you. I said, you are very welcome, ma'am. You can never be too careful. I made sure the guys left before I walked back to my car, and as I was walking back, all I could do was think, I hope a man does that for my future daughter one day. This was first posted in r/that happened. Like, yeah, bro, I don't believe you. I don't believe you even a little bit. The thing is if 2 men are like harassing me and talking to me, and then a 3rd man comes up to me and called me darling, like, how was the meeting today, darling? I would be overwhelmed. I would not react in a positive way. I would feel uncomfortable. I don't think that would help the situation. I think what you should do is just tell the other men to leave me alone. If it's like a woman who is able to sympathize with the situation and they come and just like take my aid and are like, hey, I'm just here to, you know, we're friends, leave, so it's like a numbers game, that's different. But I'm already being overwhelmed by men. I don't need another man to come into the situation. I wouldn't be grateful. I would be kind of scared. And also because a lot of men do nice things for you and then expect something from you, so I would be then worried and not know how to respond after the situation has calmed down, because I would feel as though something is expected of me, because a lot of the time something is expected of me where I don't owe him shit, you know? And like, yeah, I just don't believe you. I just don't believe you. And the fact you're like, I hope someone does this for my daughter in the future. Why? You should just hope that your daughter doesn't ever get harassed. I feel as the bigger moral of the story is just, I hope that no one ever harasses my daughter. Like, even if you do help women out, you don't deserve an award for it, you know? And you shouldn't be posting advice on how to help women in these situations, because 1, this wouldn't be very helpful. It would be very overwhelming. Like, let women share what they believe will be helpful. Let women be like, hey, if you ever see a woman being harassed, do this. And I've never seen a woman say to do this before, because it's going to overwhelm people. Don't. There's a photo of a woman, Nico, posting just photos saying late night waifu vibes, and she's got like some bright blush makeup on, and someone replied, Nico, I've noticed your cheeks are always red. Is your boyfriend abusing you? Please DM me if you need help. And someone just replied, you are freaking stupid. It's called blush. It's a type of makeup. Firstly, why would she DM you? How are you going to help? What is your plan here? What is your next course of action? Secondly, how do you not know that? How are you unaware? How are you unaware that that's what is happening there? That she's wearing blush? You just jump straight to her boyfriend is abusing her instead of she's wearing makeup, and you think that she's gonna DM you to help her in an abusive relationship? You think she's gonna DM this just like one of her followers in order to help her? Because that's not gonna happen. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna help? Why are you jumping to this like worst case scenario and making yourself the hero of her story? That's inappropriate, man. That's inappropriate. There was a tweet that someone made that said, one of my Twitch subs just got me a Tesla. And that person quote retweeted with, just spent $70,000 to be called one of my Twitch subs. I'm never gifting anything ever again. Why would you give someone 70 grand? Huh? Why would you do that? How do you have... I would love to be in a financial position to be able to just give someone 70 grand to buy a Tesla. What did you think was happening? This is where, listen, I am all for parasocial relationships. I am a lover of parasocial relationships, but I also am a lover of boundaries and understanding that what you are is a follower, it is a fan, and of that person. The relationship goes two ways in the sense of it's you to one, but them to like thousands to millions, right? There is no direct connection. You have a connection to them, they have a connection to everyone, right? That's how it works. You need to understand that no amount of what you do is going to change that. Giving them 70 grand isn't going to change that. They still don't know you, even though you know them. And obviously you don't know them 100%, but you know them much better than they know you, right? They don't know you shit. You chose to give them 70 grand. That's on you. You bought them a Tesla. You are just one of their Twitch subs. Maybe you should have thought about that first. They don't owe you shit, man. They give you their content and then you pay them whatever you want to. You decided that their content was worth 70 grand. That was a decision you made. No one made you do it. No one said that you were going to become more than a Twitch sub. That's what you are and that is what you will always be. I'm sorry. You don't deserve anything more than that. Thank you for the Tesla. You know, that's it. Save the little girl who was getting groped by a grown man. I, 23 male, was at a metal concert last night, and I was protecting the girls in front from the pit behind us as I'm a rather large man. As soon as the music stopped, I heard someone scream, "Get the fuck off me!" Noticed a young girl getting inappropriately grabbed by a mid-30s dude, so I grabbed him by the throat and threw him to the ground, threatened to beat his brains out if he moved before security arrived. He was escorted out not long after. That girl's scream will probably stick with me for a while, I'm not going to lie. After the show, her and her parents came up to thank me and offer me money. But stuff like that should never happen in the first place. I told my family members about it, and my mum told me that it probably won't even be the last time. It makes me sick. I don't really know why I'm writing this. I did what I feel any man should do in that situation. I just wish those situations didn't happen, period. Edit, to clarify, because I forgot this was Reddit where the, well, actually, brain dead crowd found this. It was an all ages show. The girl was 13. The man was at least mid-30. Like, again, right? I appreciate when people stand up for people. Like, if you see a woman being harassed, you absolutely should do something about it and say something. I just, however, don't believe that this happened. I just don't believe that this happened. The chance of, for one, a 13-year-old and her family going to a metal concert and being at the front of a mosh pit is so unlikely. Like, firstly, I don't know very many metal shows that are all ages, at least any metal shows that have a pit that is all ages. I don't know any 13-year-olds who are going with their parents and are going to be at the front of the pit. Like, that's already incredibly, incredibly unlikely. And then on top of that, being in a pit and seeing someone being harassed and then grabbing that person by the throat, throwing them on the ground and threatening them, that is super difficult and hard to happen when you're in a pit as well. Like, I don't understand how any of this could take place. It seems incredibly unlikely that any of this would take place. And also, there is a very low chance of their family coming and seeking you out and then offering you money for this, right? Like, if that happened to me or like someone I know or a sibling or a family member or whatever, I wouldn't offer money. I would just be like, thank you, by the way. I'm not offering you money for just like doing, you know, a service and just like sticking up for someone. That's not what this is. Like you say, right? I don't do it for the money. I did what I think anyone should do. Exactly. And they're like, I don't know why I'm writing this. I just wish it didn't happen. Like, you do know why you're writing it. It's because you want praise. It's because you want people to say, thank you. You're a true hero. You saved the day. Like, you don't need to come up with this fabricated story to talk about sexual assault and harassment being wrong. You didn't need to tell this whole story. I don't know. There's just something always so off about it. Like, using this as a way to promote yourself as being a good person. Like, you don't deserve rewards and compensation for just being a decent person. And going out of your way to seek validation for that, I just don't think is a cool thing to do. Even if you say that that's not what you're doing, that is absolutely what you are doing. To finish it off, we're gonna finish off with how the logic of friend zoning would work if applied in other instances. Man walks into a store and finds employee. All right, I've had enough. Why haven't you guys hired me? Employee. Well, sir, you didn't put in your application. I never filled out an application. Well, sir, we can't consider you for employment if you've never filled out an application. No, that's bullshit, because I've been coming here for years now, and every single time I tell you all how much I love this store and how much I appreciate your customer service, unlike some of your customers, might I add, well, that doesn't, and I even told you that I didn't have a job. But sir, that doesn't indicate that you would like a job at our store. And again, if you've never filled out an application, we can't consider you. Besides, we're not hiring. Oh, not hiring? Ha! What a laugh. I see your store go through seasonal workers all the time. They come and go like nothing. But you won't consider me as a part-time employee even though I know you've been looking for workers to fill positions? That's insane. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it, you know? These guys will do things to get into women's good books. And then they will like fabricate that, you know, a relationship between them, and they'll just drop hints to them that they want to be in a relationship by literally just being nice and respecting them and hoping that one day they'll turn around and like declare their love for them and then they're like, why don't you love me? Why will you never? It's like, because you've never expressed that before. Like, believe it or not, women can view you as a platonic friend. Believe it or not, you can have friendships that are purely just platonic and based on friendship. Like, sometimes relationships will develop and evolve and sometimes they won't, and you just have to be kind of chill with that. Women don't owe you anything. Stop trying to get in good books. Stop trying to get in women's good books to get stuff out of us, okay? Like, just enjoy our company and respect us as people. Stop making shit up to try to, like, gain brownie points. Don't set traps for women so that you can take women and be like, I am better than everyone, and like brainwash them into fucking loving you. Like, don't do that. Just be a respectful, normal person, please. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I hope that you enjoyed. A massive thank you to my Sprout and Above patrons whose names are up on the screen right now. And a huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons. Harry, Toulouse, Bobby, Sparrow, Josh, Mandy, Robbie, Ikazel, Jessica, Eldo, Trini, Raven, Danielle, Enoli Like Cannoli, Elias, Jewel, Apollo, Taylor is Trying, Boston, and Chris. I love and appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to become a patron, you go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. For as little as £1 a month, you get my videos a day early, as well as podcasts a week early. And then for £3 and up, you get things such as outtakes, bonus mini podcasts, live streams, vlogs, and more. We recently uploaded a vlog of our trip to Korea recently, so if you wanted to see what we were up to there, then you can totally do that. And I've also been live streaming videos recently too, which has been fun. So yeah, if you want to see some of those, then patreon.com/savvycat. I appreciate it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, @QueerKiwi, and Twitter, @QueerKiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.